Well, hello, everybody. Today is Sunday night, February the 10th, 2019. How many of y'all still write 2018 on your checks? I don't write that many checks, but then when I do, I'm like, oh. And so, anyway, it is 2019 and February 10th. So we're a third of the month is gone. I mean, it's moving on fast, isn't it, y'all? So I have to first to start out to tell you that just a big shout out to Veronica Brown. Veronica Brown is on here tonight, and she was one of our guests at our guest event that we had our 30th year anniversary celebration. And then she signed up that night at the guest night. She came and had a facial, and she signed up, and she came to the Jumpstart the next day. And in her first week, she has 3 recruits. Woo! That's what I'm talking about. 3 in a week. 3 people in her first week. And so I have to just share with you what she did. And I didn't tell her to do this, but she is a YouTuber. So she probably got it from somebody. But anyway, we've done this before. But what she did is when she decided that instead of opening her kit by herself, she decided to have a party. And so she invited some of her girlfriends over to open the kit in front of them. And if you're on the Cheetah Nation page, like on our group page, I told her to post it, and it's so exciting. I mean, I felt so excited for her, and she had one of her friends was there, and another one was recording it, and one of the friends that was there signed back up. I think she had been in Mary Kay before, and she was like, wow, because it is a wow. It's so much more than it used to be. When I signed up, I mean, really, we had this pink case. It looked like, a science experiment tubes hanging down. Was not like what we have today, which is just everything is beautiful and flare. As a matter of fact, that the thing that you got, Veronica, that said, I choose Mary Kay, that's pretty cool. That's something new they're doing, because that's not in, well, I don't think it's in this last kit I did. They used to say the party starts here. So now I guess they have a different one that says, I choose Mary Kay. So that is pretty neat. And so anyway, she sold some products. She kind of kept it going from that morning till noon, like dropped by, and she sold like $200. Got a recruit, and then she got another recruit earlier in the week, and then she had another one. Her hairdresser signed up, and I think she's got 2 more. Is that right? Coming in. And so this gal, you're going to hear things about her. Every now and then the Lord just throws you a gift, and that gift in our unit is Veronica Brown. So Veronica, I'm so proud of you. I just had to give her a shout out. Because you know what? We make recruiting so hard, and we think, oh, it's so hard. I just need to recruit. Somebody needs to recruit. But honestly, it's your enthusiasm that is going to recruit people. And it's just so, I mean, Veronica is new. She doesn't know every single thing she needs to, to learn about the company. But she's excited. And I talked to one of her recruits, and she said, she told me, she said, this was Sandra. She said, we've done different things together. We've done this, we've done that. And she said, and so when she told me she was doing Mary Kay, I knew if that's what she was doing, I was going to do it. So you know what? You guys may have some people in your life that are like that you just haven't asked, that like, if you do it, they'll do it. And so don't be afraid to ask your friends. And if they won't recruit, maybe they'll buy something or book something from you. Okay. So thank you for just, breaking some belief barriers, Veronica. And I'm excited for you. And all of us are, really working toward getting those 6 qualified for that cruise. And then we're going to help our people get 3 qualified, or 3 recruits, 3 new red jackets. So we can get on that cruise together. And they've already printed up and had a little video that our president, Nathan Moore, did, that I think 6 or 7 women have already won the cruise. And 2 of them are friends of mine. I'm like, all righty then. So, I'm pretty bent on getting it done this month myself. I'm like, all right, if they can do it, we can do it. And it's just a matter of focusing on it every single day. So today, I thought maybe what I would share with you, I think it's always good to share something authentic, which is something that really you can speak from what you know instead of what you heard. Okay, does that make sense? And so I have been a little party queen. And so I've decided that, I did this Bridal Expo and got a bunch of names, and I booked several of them, and it started on Friday. And so I did 5 parties since Friday. I did 2 on Friday and 3 on Saturday. And so I just want to share my results, and I wanted to actually tonight, this is going to be basic. And some of you are going to go, Cleta, that's so lame, but I'm going to tell you anyway, because you know what? Someone may need it. And this is basic party tips to have how to have a good party, and things, just a little checklist of things to remember to do before the party, during the party, and after the party. Because what I know is that I need 6 recruits, and I believe that these parties this weekend, I wish I was going to come on here and tell you I have 5 new recruits. However, I did send 3 online agreements that they're going to fill out. And I have 2 more that I believe will do it. So maybe next week I can tell you I got all 6. Well, yes, next week, that's the goal. Get on here and go, hey, you guys, I already got my 6 done. So that's what I'm working on. And in the meantime, I'll be selling and having a lot of, leads and all that good stuff. So, I ended up doing 22 people. These are all of the profiles of everybody that I did, and all this. They're all the sales tickets and all the profiles. It's a lot, and I got a lot of little data entry I need to do. But the parties went like this. On Saturday, I drove about an hour. It was about 45, something like that. It was about an hour really to the first party, and I had this little thing, and you guys can do what you want to do. But like for me, I usually am not going to drive an hour to do one face because my time is a little more valuable than that. So I kind of put it out there to people that I will go to them if they will get a group of 6 to 10 women together. Or they can come to me. And they can go to me by themselves, or they can come to me with a group. And that's kind of the deal that I do. Now, you can do what you want to do. If you want to drive an hour and do one face, if it's a good face, it, might be worth it. But I just, that's me. Okay. So because of that, the ones that the ones that I drove to, they had a group for me because they knew that was the deal. All right. So the first party was actually at noon on Friday. Now you may think, noon, I don't do day parties. Nobody's going to do a party during the day. They do. Okay. So all these girls, they either were housewives, or they went to school, or they just weren't working that day. And there were 7 of them there. And so that was the first party, and 7 people there. Then the second party was at 6 o'clock that night at my house. And there were 3 girls there. These girls were, I did a lot of brides this week. So this girl was a bride and her 2 best friends, and they were college students. They were like 21, 22 years old. Okay. And then at 10 o'clock in the morning, I had a party at my house, and I had 5 women there and 2 babies. And one baby was like 2, and the other one, that one wasn't a baby. She's probably like, I don't know how. I'm such a bad job with like children and their ages. So I'm going to say 4. She could have been 6. Okay. But maybe 4, 5, or 6, something like that. But honestly, they were really good. So I was very pleased. One of them was screaming their head off, but then she got to feeling better, and then she went to sleep, and she actually was snoring as she was sleeping. It was really cute, actually. She's like a little cat purring. But so I'm just telling, why I'm telling you this is because I'm just like y'all. You're going to go to some parties. You're going to have babies. You're going to have kids. They came to my house, and you said, oh, we've got 2 kids. Is that okay? I'm like, that's fine. Because what are you going to say, right? And so it worked out fine. But sometimes you're going to have them running around your legs while you're doing a party. That's just life. That's just women. We got families, right? And then as soon as I got done with them, that was at 10 o'clock. They all came at 10 o'clock. I had another party at 12. And later I thought, why did I schedule that so close together? That's tight because you got to close everybody out too, right? But I'm telling you, I was on it. And at 12 o'clock, they were leaving, and the other 2 were coming in. So I went to a different table. I left the mess in the dining room, and I went to the kitchen with the second party. And that one, it was only 2 girls on that one. And so anyway, then the next one was at 6 o'clock, and that was an hour away. So I drove an hour away for that one. And on that one, she was supposed to have 8 people, but we had 5. And see, that's normal because that's why you tell them 8 to 10, because you want them to have 5 or 6, because there's always going to be a few that don't show up. And so anyway, of all that, Mary Kay says that your average party is going to be, 350, something like that, if you have 6 people around the table. Well, obviously I didn't have 6 around all the tables, or that would have been 30 faces, right? So I did 22 faces. And one of the parties, I didn't sell anything. It was just, the two girls didn't sell anything. However, they both one wrote out a sales ticket, the other one circled some stuff, and they're both going to tell each other's fiance and boyfriend or husband to call me before Thursday to get it for them for Valentine's Day. So I feel like that'll be another couple $100, you know. So my sales were they were like $960 for the 2 days for those parties. But I had reorders, so I ended up selling about $1,500 on those 2 days, and the whole week was like I just added that was like $2,029. So why am I telling you that? Because even me, I'm a sales director. I've been in 33 years. Every party I have is not $1,000 party. I mean, I always hope for one, but you don't know. I mean, some people, they can spend what they have, you know, but I am not looking for a one-time sale. And this is what I told the girls at the party, you know, because someone like, well, I'd like to get everything, but I'm just going to have to start with this. And, you know, and then I'll add some things. And I said, look, I said, it's okay. I said, I'm not here for you to see me one time and then never see me again. I hope to be your beauty consultant for the rest of your life. And this isn't a one-time sale. So I would love for you to get what you can tonight, and then we can do a party. You can get some stuff free, or you can just, you know, in a couple of weeks, you can get that cleanser, and maybe you'll think about me when your mascara runs out. And then maybe, you know, later when you're trying to buy some eye makeup remover, you'll go, hey, let me get that from Plita. And, you know, eventually you could be on All Mary Kay. I said, that's my goal. So, you know, don't worry about it, because some of the girls were like, their wedding was like in 2 weeks, and they were like, had no money to spend. And I said, I get that, you know. So anyway, the average per face was $43. And that's usually a little low. Like I say, Mary Kay's average, I say, is usually $50 to $75, you know. But, you know, it's just according to who's there. And these were people that I did not know. Like, I didn't know at all. I met them at a booth, and some of them I don't even remember there. I think they could have signed up with the other girl, but, you know, because we were both just getting names. And so, but what I want to tell you is that even with some parties that were zero and, you know, just a $200 party, and one of them was like $350, $360. But, you know, even with that, not record-breaking sales, it's still enough. Like if I was a new consultant, I would have a qualified order go in. You know, I mean, I would have almost $1,000 to send my first order in if I started with no money. So I want to tell you that anyone on your team can get qualified if they're willing to put the work in. And not only that, I have a jillion names. Every single girl, I mean, like, like all of these on the back put names. And some of them put, you know, some of them were only like maybe 7 or 8 names, but then some of them were like, I filled up every line, it was 17 names, you know. So I probably have, I don't even know, 200 names or so there to follow up with. And of course I booked a couple on the spot, and then I have several that are going to book. And then the ones that signed up, or that I sent the thing, I said, listen, now you were going to do a party. I said, I'm going to send you the link, and once you get your agreement in, I will do that party, but it will be your party. And this is the group that was an hour away last night. I said, listen, all these girls and all these names, I'm going to give them to you. I said, so you'll start out with 5 customers and about 20 names. I said, so, you know, I said, you live up here. It'll be a lot more feasible for you to work it. I'll come to your first party. And they're like, well, what about my second and third? I said, listen, I could get a 12-year-old boy in here to do this if he can read, flip, and squirt. I said, look at this flip chart. And I flipped it around. I said, you just read it. I said, do y'all think I worked that hard tonight? They're like, no. I said, that's right. I said, this is not hard. And so anyway, you kind of just take the objections out while you're doing the party. So I just that's the first thing I wanted to do, is just encourage you that you have to do, Mary Kay Ash always said, do book 8 and hold 5 in your first 2 weeks. I mean, originally she said, we talked about this last week, to hold it in your first week. Why? Because some of your parties are going to be zero parties, or you may sell $20 or $80, but then some are going to be $400 parties, right? But if you only did one party and it was that low one, then you might say, I'm out of here. I can't make money with this. People won't buy it. But if you have enough, you'll still sell. Does that make sense to y'all? So don't worry if you have a low party. I mean, I know what I'm doing, and it doesn't matter if it's me or it's you. Some people are just going to buy what they're going to buy. They can't buy if they don't have the money, right? And so some of it is that's all that is about, is that they just did not have the money to pay for it. Okay. So, but something always good comes out of it. And I believe if they don't have enough money to buy a miracle set, then they need to be selling some Mary Kay. So they can never say, I don't have $100, right? And so let me give you a couple of tips that I did this weekend, because, you know, when you're doing a bunch of parties in a row, you really have to be prepared, or you can really stress yourself out, because it's a lot of, it's just a lot at one time. You know, I went to bed and I'm like, I'm tired. That was a long day. But so one thing, you want to be prepared. And part of being prepared is getting your kit ready. And so just common sense would tell you that get your kit out, you know, clean all your mirrors. Make sure you have enough trays, the little plastic trays in there. Make sure you have your cotton balls. You know, make sure their cotton balls are the big, fluffy jumbo size, not those little tiny bitty nylon ones, and not the squares. They don't, you know, you're doing it for translucent powder and cheek color. So unless you're going to use real brushes, you need to get some decent sized cotton balls. Make sure you have headbands and ink pens. Make sure that you have your washcloths that either, you know, you can do the ones that the company sells, or if you are out, obviously it takes a minute for that to get in. You need to run over to the Dollar Tree and buy you a stack of washcloths, you know, and have that, and then just have a little plastic bag. You'll put them in and you just rewash them. Okay. So you want to make sure you have washcloths, and I like to have at least 2 per person, because I'm doing the charcoal mask, and, you know, you have one for the cleanser and then one for the charcoal mask. So you can try to use the same ones. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But anyway, you want to make sure you have invoices, you know, to write their orders on. You want to make sure you have the profile cards, and you want to make sure you have some lookbooks or beauty books there. I don't hand the lookbooks out at the party, and I'm going to tell you why. Because if I have the lookbook out, where's the new one? Let's say I have this out on the table, and these are the new lookbooks, by the way. You know, they redid them, and so cute. So, and if you do the preferred customer program, they came out today, and everybody has a vitamin C square in it. That's the free gift. It's pretty awesome. So anyway, you want to follow up and tell them how to use that, and sell them a serum to use it with, by the way, because they're not going to know what to use it with. They're going to take it, try to put that on their face without reading the directions, and it's going to be a sticky mess. So call your customers and sell them sell them a tone correcting serum, or sell them a serum plus C to use this CC cream, to use the vitamin C square with. But anyway, you don't want to put these on the table, because this is what happens. You do your clothes, you're trying to sell your skincare sets with your placemat, and then they open this, and they start flipping through, and they're flipping through, and then they're looking, and then they're going through, and they're like, you know what? They're like, and then they go to the back, and then they're like, let me just get that eye primer for $12 or something random. Not that you don't want to sell eye primer, but you're trying to sell a miracle set here, and you don't want to get this is a lot. This is like opening the Sears Roebuck catalog. You know, it's just too much. It's overwhelming. There's too many things here. And then what happens is sometimes people will go, you know what? I just think I need to look this over, and can I just call you? Okay. I'm just telling you, that's what they're going to say. And then what happens is they leave, and then they don't call you. You don't have a sale, you don't have a customer. So this is how I use my lookbooks. I don't put them on the table. They're in my bag. And as I fill their orders after the end of the party, then I go, oh, like they've bought what they're going to buy. I say, oh, and this is our lookbook. I said, in the back has every single thing that Mary Kay sells, all the eyeshadows, everything that we talked about, and just some real good information about some of the products you purchased tonight. So I'm going to give you one of these books, and I'll be putting you on my mailing list, and you'll get one of these every quarter. And then they get so excited, okay? But I don't put them out on the table for them to be browsing through at the party. Just, you got to trust me on that, okay? So that's how I use the lookbooks. But you do want to have something, because then if you do book a party, then you can give them to this to take outside orders. Okay. So you want to have some books, and it doesn't matter if they're not the current book. Okay. Because some of you have been in a while, you may have some of the older books. It's okay. It is okay. Like the only thing difference, we came out with the new Chroma Fusion colors. So the eyeshadows and the cheeks are different, but honestly, they don't usually order right out of that book. They're just using it as a guide to flip through, and so it's not a problem. So get your lookbooks out and just hand them out, as you close. The other thing that you want to check in your kit, if you've been doing a lot of facials, or maybe you hadn't done one in a long time, is you just want to check the contents of your samples. So make sure you have enough. One thing that always runs out for me is the satin lip scrub. I mean, that stuff, it just goes quick. I'm like, when I do like 25 people, you might as well go ahead and get you another scrub because it's out. So like I check that, the satin lips, the CC cream, sometimes they run out quick for me and I don't realize they're almost out, So just kind of check your supplies, make sure you have what you need. Mascara is another one. Like if you've been doing a bunch of parties, it doesn't, like if you do it 35, 40 people, it doesn't take a lot. Let's think of that. That's like 40 days of mascara use, right? And so, after a little bit, that mascara is going to start drying out. And so you want to make sure you have a fresh mascara in there too. So you want to kind of check your supplies. Another thing that you want to do, if you're doing a lot of parties, your demo tubes tend to get dirty looking. I noticed this last night for myself. You're doing it like, you're squirting here, you're picking up this, and you got like foundation on your hands. And all of a sudden I was looking at my demo tubes yesterday after the third party. I thought, this stuff looks like it's been rolling around the backseat of my car, which it hasn't, but it just looked not great. So I took some Windex and I just sprayed down the tubes, my demo tubes, and put them back in there so they look nice and fresh. And when I'm doing my clothes, I don't look like I don't look like it's been in my shower, like I've been using it in the shower and bringing it to my party. So make sure your demo tubes, just the outside of them, look decent, okay? I use the Mary Kay foundation brushes at my party to put on the foundation, and then I use the foundation brush to, and I use the one that's on the pink, the Wild Supplies Last. It's the old foundation, liquid foundation brush to do the mask, and then I give them one to do the foundation. And I love having those brushes in there because their hands aren't getting as dirty, and I'm not constantly having to give them a new washcloth, because like before I would pick up all like after the mask and throw them away, and then they do foundation, and then they got this stuff is all over their hands again. I'm like, for the love, give me another washcloth out. So I just thought I probably got 20 brushes, and so everybody gets a brush, and I just wash them and use them at every party. So I mean, you don't have to do that; they can do their hands perfectly fine. But so what I have done is I just cleaned all my brushes, and we have our brush cleaner. But honestly, the quickest and easiest way to clean those brushes is to just take your little cup, put some of that Blue Dawn in it, just a little bit, and fill it up with a little bit of water. Sit them in there for a few seconds. And honestly, you can just swish them around, rinse them off. You're good to go. Cleans it perfectly. They're like brand new brushes. So that's some of the stuff I just make sure is ready. Oh, and then recruiting materials. I want to make sure that I have two of the recruiting materials that I have is I have the long one that has the team building brochure. I don't have it right here to show you. But y'all know the one that has the lady with a national suit on the front of it. And then it opens up and it starts with a consultant all the way up to the national, and it has the cars on it. I have that one, and then I have the one that just has the picture of the starter kit on the front, and it's new. And if you don't know where this is, you can look under Mary Kay under any of those contests. One of them is under, I think, the contest that has the new product for, like right now, the deal where it has a free vitamin C square and a free tone correcting serum in the kits right now. And under tools, there's a flyer. Anyway, it has the starter kit picture on it. If you don't have it, let me know. I'll send you one. But I just have those two things so that I'll have something to give out for recruiting at the party. So that's kind of what I make sure is in the kit. And then sometimes you may wonder, when I go to do a party, how much product do you bring? Because, I mean, I have shelves of products over there, okay? Now you saw my messy desk. But anyway, I have a lot of product. I'm not going to bring that every single bit of my inventory. Now, if you came in with a 600, it's all in a box. Bring all of it, okay? But if you have full inventory, you don't have to bring all your inventory. But like what I did is I said, how many people are coming? And she said 8. I said, okay. And I knew what skin type she had. I did not have a chance to pre-profile every guest to find out what skin type. If I did, then I would bring exactly what they had. Like if there was 3 oily and 4 dry, I would bring 3, combination of oily miracle sets and 4 normal to dry. But since I didn't know, I just brought like half and half. And I thought, and then I also brought, if you take the miracle set and you turn the cleanser, instead of looking straight, turn it to the side and turn the day and the night to the side, you have enough room to fit a charcoal mask in there. And, on the specials that I do is I have, if they buy the miracle set, they get the charcoal mask free. And they get the CC cream at half price. So every miracle set that I brought, I went ahead and put a charcoal mask in there, and I just have it in a bag. And so I brought miracle sets, charcoal masks. I basically bring what I sell, what I talk about, okay? I brought microdermabrasion. I brought satin lips, primers, CC creams, translucent powders. And I did not bring anything, and some mascaras, but I didn't bring anything else. I didn't bring any color. I didn't bring any lip glosses. I didn't bring anything else. That's all I brought. And I'm going to tell you, I've got it written down over here. Of that 960 that I sold, there's a few things that people bought that I didn't have. And honestly, it's people that used to wear Mary Kay, and they're like, oh, y'all's waterproof mascara is the bomb. I want some. I'm like, okay. And you can bring all that glamour. If you have it all in one of those roller things, bring it. Mine right now is just on the shelf. I didn't feel like doing it. So there are a couple things I got to get back to some people. Some people wanted cheek color. But honestly, I'm looking over there. It's like 6 things, and I have them, but everybody that bought skincare, charcoal mask, they all got what they needed, and they were so excited to get it and take it home with them right then, So I also make sure I bring some Mary Kay little bags to put it in, or you can do the paper sacks, however you want to do it, but you want some bag. At the last party last night, I forgot that, so I literally came in and said, I'm sorry, I don't have a bag. I'm in that tacky, and then I took the Ziploc bag that I'd taken a satin hands out of. I'm like, and yours is in a Ziploc bag. Now, the other 2 got miracle set bags because they bought the miracle set. And they're like, it's okay. I said, I'm not perfect. It's what makes people like me. But I try to bring the bags with them, okay? And also, you want to bring some change. I have a lot of cash that people paid me in. And they're like, you got some change? I'm like, I sure do. Because if you don't have any change at all and they got a $100 bill, I don't know. They're not going to give you a $100 bill and wait for 80, so you do want to bring some change. You don't have to bring a lot, but I do bring, $30, $40 in change, and then some just little change too, just to make change if they need it. I ran all my cards on my app, on the ProPay app. I don't wait till I get home to do it. Right there where they're sitting there, I pull up the ProPay app and I run their card. Because if it don't go through, I don't want to hand them a $100 miracle set, right? So, of course, it was no problem. They all went through. But I was going to tell you that, too. You want to have some kind of little gift for your hostess. And this really, you're going to give our hostess credit. But sometimes it's kind of cute to, right at the very beginning of the party, thank the hostess and say, you know what, I just want to thank her. She's going to get hostess credit tonight. But just for even showing up and having all of you here, I have a little gift for her. And this can be whatever you want to give. It can be as simple as, it could be a mini satin hand set. It could be something like that. It could be a hand cream. It could be a lip gloss. It could be, if you've been in Mary Kay for a little while, I have a little box of discontinued. It could be one of those discontinued items wrapped up. Okay? So you want to kind of bring just a little something extra to give her, because it makes people want to do a party for you. For me, do you remember when we had the brush sets and they were buy one, get one half price? And so I bought, or it was some big special on them. And I remember you could max it out at 13 and I got 26 because anyway, so I thought I'm fixing to give some brush sets away. So all my brides, they want a free brush set. And that's a really nice gift, right? But I built it up. They felt so special. And, I know that I didn't pay full price for them, so it was just easy. That's just something I wanted to do. But honestly, on a normal day, if it wasn't because see, I told them that they won the drawing, and so I wanted to make it special that they really won something. So that's what I gave them. But, honestly, sometimes really just one of the PCP, I keep looking over there because that's where my discontinued stuff is. But, just one of your discontinued products is fine. And then you want to wrap up one little something for your drawing for the tickets, and you know how we do the tickets while the mask is drying, and we do tickets, that's for the referrals. And then we do tickets for anyone that book a party and anyone that takes recruiting information that lets you talk to them. You want to have a gift for that. So you want to bring that ahead of time. Don't forget to bring something. So I brought one, I did a satin lips. One time I did a satin lips, just the bomb. And I had just done satin lips on them. Like, we cleaned the face and we did satin lips, and then we had the charcoal mask drying. And while they were writing names, I didn't think they were acting that motivated to write names for me. I said, oh yeah, and you know what the gift is? It's the satin lips that y'all love. They're like, ah. So they started going, Amanda, Allison, they went down the A's and the B's, and they were just writing away, and they were so excited, But I've also got some of the ones I did discontinued products. So I had some little eyeshadow palettes that were discontinued, and I gave that. So it doesn't really matter what it is, because anybody likes anything free. So make sure you have that. Make sure you bring your tickets to do that. And on one of the ones, I forgot my tickets. Now, I'm just being real with y'all, because I'm not used to having 5 parties in 2 days, so I forgot my tickets. I left them on the table. I said, well, guess what? Normally I do tickets, but what we're going to do is I'm going to give away this satin lips, and whoever has the most names gets it. And I'm telling you, I didn't do tickets. That's just what they did. And they just start writing away. And I'm like, and they're like, how many you got? 8? And they get, somebody give me another name. And they're like, ah, and then somebody get another, like, that's my name. Then they're fighting over who's giving me what name. It was awesome. So anyway, improvise if you don't have it right. You want to kind of decide on what kind of hostess plan you're going to do. You don't want to be confused. You don't want to confuse yourself. So kind of get an idea of what you want to do. And, you can do like the 75 for 35, where they get $75 a product for $35. I just put some stuff out there about the new one. It's 80 for 40, where they get $80 for 40. And that's if you can do that with everybody. I don't want to go through the whole thing, but watch that whole video. It's really, really good. It's a really great hostess plan on that. Or you can do the tried and true, and that's where they get 10% of the sales. If nobody books, they get 15% if one person books, and they get 20% if 2 people book. And booking is not like saying I'm going to book. It's actually having a date and a time. That's the booking. And so kind of decide on how you're going to do your hostess plan so that you can do that at the end. The other thing is you want to arrive early enough to be relaxed when everybody gets there. There's nothing worse than like having a party and like you being the last one there. Everybody's there and you're rolling in like the bag lady and you're all stressed and you're like huffing and a puffing and you're throwing your stuff out. And, by the time you start, you're like, all right, well, welcome. And they're like, wow, wouldn't want her job. She works hard, Instead, you want to be relaxed, so you want to get there in ample time. I usually try to get there 45 minutes to 30 minutes early. Because, I got my stuff set up in my kit that it's not a problem for me to set up. I can set up in 5 minutes if they can get out of my way, right? So you want to get there early enough, because this is the time, really, that you can start establishing a relationship with that hostess and with the people that come in. And so, because most of the time, well, in South Georgia anyway, people are late. You never start on time. I'm like, I'm ready. They're never ready. But it's okay. I just visit with them, and usually one of them says, well, how long have you been in Mary Kay? And I start doing my eye story with whoever's there. And I tell them how long I've been in, how much I love it. And, I'm just, in my mind, I'm trying to figure out which one of y'all is going to be on my team. Which one of y'all do I want to be friends with for the rest of my life and be on my team? And so I'm kind of sharing my Mary Kay story with them as I am setting up and getting to know them and trying to establish a friendship instead of just being a sales lady, because then they love you. It's not even about like you're just having fun. And one of the things that you're going to run into at a party is they're going to have food and they're going to want to eat. And so you have a choice of like, do you eat or do you not eat? Okay. Because don't y'all feel that way? You're like, I don't know. And so this is the thing. If they all are going to eat before the party, you may as well just sit down and get a plate. I'm just saying, and just in your mind go, this is going to be a long party. Just get you a plate, sit down, eat the beanie weenies, eat whatever they got, have something to drink, and talk to them, about whatever they're talking about, and just get to know them as a person. And then you have to be the one, and I hate to tell you this, you have to be the one to go, hey, are you guys about ready? If you don't mind, I'm going to go ahead and just kind of clear the table, and let's go ahead and get started, and y'all can finish eating while I talk. because honestly, I'd probably still be at one of the parties because I thought, we're never going to have the party. We're just going to sit here and eat. And I mean, I was kind of hungry, but I just ate like a little tiny bit. It was some good little piece of blanket. I mean, like, this smells so good, I had to eat it. But like, I did not have the mimosas. Okay, you know, like they were having mimosas. I'm like, no, thank you. I'll just have some water. And so, but and then I said, do you guys? I said, y'all. I'll tell you what. Why don't we get started? And they're like, oh, okay, because they're just friends. I mean, you got to realize they're just having a good time. They're not in any hurry. So you got to kind of get, if they can't take control, you have to get control. And don't be afraid to just say, do you care if I take the stuff off this table and let me set up? And so they did. And so you want to, and that will help you recruit people. Okay, the other thing is I wanted to mention that after you do your group close with your placemat, you know, you go through the group close, you tell them the specials, and then you want to, if all possible, you want to do an individual close away from the table. And so at one of the houses, I had to do it at the table. And the other house, there was a chair not far from the table, but it was like this big chair. And I'm like, do you care if I close over there? So I said, y'all come on over here, bring your profile card, bring your sales ticket, and bring your placemat. And because I had them circle what they want on the placemat. And I said, and come over here. And I said, and I always say, who's got to run out first? Is everybody like in a hot hurry? And there always is somebody. I said, well, why don't you come first? And I want everyone to sit with me, even if the ones that think they don't want to buy anything, I need them to sit with me. It don't always happen that way, but that's what I like. And so I had them come over there and sit down, and at that time, I'll go through, you know, and ask them the questions. You have a good time? You know, if money were no object, what would you like to take home with you tonight? What do you feel more comfortable with? And then I say, let's go ahead and book that second appointment. And of course, I did talk to them about the cruise and stuff too, and, you know, try to get a booking from that. And then, you know, I talked to them about the company and see if I could talk to them a little bit about it, maybe send them, if they have to leave, maybe I can send them a video later. Or some of them, I just went ahead and sent them the link. If they said, you know, I think I would like to do that. I don't have the money right this second, but I will probably get it this week. I said, great. I pull my phone out and I send them the link. Okay. And then, like, if they're not in a hurry, and then, like, that girl's in a hurry, so I went to the car, got her stuff, and brought it back. But if they're not in a hurry, I say, are you in a hurry? No, I'm not. So, well, let me just wait. And then at the end, I'll go get all the stuff out of the car and I bagged all the orders and bring them back into everybody. And like I say, I know some of y'all, especially your directors, are like, wow, Cleta, what a boss babe call. But sometimes as a new consultant, and even if you haven't been doing it in a while, you get kind of rusty on exactly like to get your flow, to get it going, and you know what you're going to do. So you look relaxed, you look like you're having fun, and you are having fun. And when you leave, you almost forget about the sales. I know I'm going to sell something because it's a great product, but I'm looking for recruits. That's me. I'm looking for recruits. And so, like, I have to put the squeeze on them at the end. And I said, listen, somebody is going to have to be on my team. Now, and like last night, I said, one of y'all have got to be on my team. So why don't y'all look at the table and y'all tell me which one of y'all is going to do it? Which one of y'all think needs to do it? And I just stood there and I waited. And they started looking, and they were like getting nervous. And finally, they go, "Well, she should do it. She used to sell rainbow vacuum cleaners." I'm like, "You're the one, then. You win." I said, because nobody raised their hand that they wanted to take some Mary Kay recruiting material. So when she said that, they said that to her. I said, "Well, great." And so I handed her 4 tickets. I handed her 2 brochures. I said, "We're going to talk in a minute." And she goes, "Well, I might." That's one says, "I might be interested, but I don't know. I'm not good talking in front of people like you." I said, "If you can sell a $3,000 vacuum cleaner, you can sell a $24 mask." I said, "Come on." And everybody's like, "Yeah, you could, Mom." And I said, "And you got like 14 names right here." I said, "You could kill it. We're going to do this." I said, "I'd love to work with you." And so, believe it or not, after I closed everybody, and she bought like the Miracle set, she spent like $189. But then after all of that, she said, "Don't forget to send me that link." I'm like, I said, "I will send it right now." Boom, 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 right? So I'm waiting for that agreement to go in. So anyway, those are just some tips. The parties are crazy. They're all going to be different. Some you're going to leave and go, I cannot believe I just sold 8 miracle sets. Or I cannot believe that 2 people wanted the repair and I sold 4 miracle sets and I'm leaving with $1,000. And some you're going to leave and go, I cannot believe not one single person bought anything for me. You know what? But I had a great time with every one of them. Every single one of them, we took pictures. After I take the picture, I showed them the picture. I said, look how cute you look. And they're like, I do look cute. I said, I know. I mean, I felt good about it. I don't even care what they bought. And they felt good about it. And I know that I'm going to get a lot of bang out of all those people that I did. And like I say, I'm not looking for just a one-day sale. I'm looking for a relationship for a long, long time, or to recruit them. And, and I told the girls, the other group of girls, I said, look, if whoever one of y'all does it, I will give y'all all these names and all these bookings. I mean, to me, if I was a girl sitting there thinking I need money, I would say, I'll do it. So don't be afraid to give away. I mean, that's their friends are going to buy from them anyway. So don't say, well, you can't sell to your sister. That's my girl. That'd be crazy, right? So you want to make sure that you tell them that. So I wanted to really just share that with you tonight, and about just getting on the date book. And, I was not lucky. I mean, I paid money to do that booth, and it was cost me, she and I split it to do that bridal booth. I think it cost me $150, but I well overmade that, and I got tons of people to still call. So you know what? It's okay every now and then to spend a little money and get some names if that's what you got to do. But honestly, if I only had these 5 bookings, I could go for months and just keep booking all these people that are on the back of these cards. I mean, I could go for months. So make sure you're getting those referrals, and make sure you work the referrals, because you can stay on the date books really easy then, and then you're not going to have to stress about getting names, because I got names for days, right? I got more names than I need. I might just be taking to my meeting and go, guess what y'all won? 10 names. Here you go. Y'all be coming to the meeting more, right? So anyway, what I would like to do is, if you're on Zoom and you can see my face, and you would like to unmute yourself and ask any kind of questions about anything you want about a party or anything like that, just go ahead and unmute and ask me a question. I'm just going to give you just a minute or two, and then I'm going to end with letting the directors they may have something they want to share that's pertinent. Does anybody have any questions at all about a party? I guess all y'all are pros at parties. Good. All right. Awesome. So, all right. Well, let's just do this. We're just going to kind of close it up, and I'm going to, I'll just start with, I got Allison that I see first on my list. So Allison, I just unmuted you. If you want to share anything any tips for the week, just go right ahead, and then I'll just kind of go the line with the directors.
Okay. I know you can't see me, right?
Right.
Oh, there I am. Hi. I'm in my car driving. But what I was going to say is that, everything she covered is, you can't have that perfect party. I mean, you just have to know that things are going to happen and crazy stuff is going to happen. I mean, the dog's going to bark, there's going to be a baby, there's going to be, somebody's going to be late. I mean, you just have to at some point go with the flow. But the important thing is having the parties, and, you have a renewed sense of commitment when you're in the middle of that activity. And it's fun, and you meet people that you would have never known would be on your team, and it's worth it. So, take the tools that she's giving you with all this stuff and be prepared, and go have some fun, go have some parties, and go meet some people, because that's the key. I'm trying to get where you guys can see me, but I guess there's nowhere to see me. Okay. So that's all I have to say is you did a great job, and it's time to party all the way to the cruise ship.
That's right. That's right. One thing I was thinking, I thought, how bad do you want it? How bad do you want to go on that cruise? And do you know why I want to go on that cruise, you guys? I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, I'm going to win the trip to Hawaii. I mean, it's going to be at the Four Seasons. But I want to go on the cruise because I want to go on the cruise with y'all. That is why I want to win it. I want to go with y'all. I want to win this sucker to show you can win it, and let's all go together because it will be so fun to go with my consultants and my favorite directors. That's why I want to go on the cruise. So I just want to tell y'all that. And so I hope you're really working for it because, I mean, we're going. I mean, like, I'm determined, like, and I really am going to do it this month. I'm just going to knock it out. And if I have to do, I've just decided at the beginning of the month, I thought, I don't care how many parties. And I think those of you that are on here last week, I told you about that vacation that I had at the end of the month, canceled it. So Clee's going to be working that week. Yeah, that's how bad I'm going to work to get on this cruise. So you guys that really want to do it, you got to amp up your activity. Do I really want to do 5 parties every weekend? No. But am I going to? Yes. Because I really want to achieve this, and I'm willing to do what it takes. And so you have to think about that. Okay, Marie, I'm going to unmute you next.
Hey, first of all, I just have to say, Cleta, your makeup looks beautiful today, and you just look awesome. You look slamming. So,
wow, thank you.
And the other thing is about pre-profiling the guest, because if you have been in a pattern where things keep canceling on you, the best thing to prevent that is to really get your guest list ahead of time and pre-profile. Because once you've already established that relationship, even if for some reason the class does not hold, you've still got all those names and numbers that you can follow back up with, and hopefully your hostess will reschedule. But if not, for whatever reason, you've still got people and you've got leads and names. So I just want to give a plug for pre-profiling as well, because I know when I have the time, take the time to do it, my parties are more successful. I swell the numbers a little bit, ask them to bring somebody. I go ahead and ask them, if you could change one thing about your skin, what would it be? And so I'm already telling them there's going to be something for them specifically at the party. So just wanted to give a little plug for that too.
Yeah, I love that. That's so great. And one thing to do, like, make sure you don't book a party and then not talk to that girl till the day of. Like, you can't do that, you guys. Like, let's say if I just show up and, like, I have not talked to her since the day I booked, that's not, even the dentist will call and remind you. So, like, what I did is on Thursday, I text every single person that I had bookings with for the next 3 days. And I say, hey, I'm just giving you a friendly reminder. How many people do you have coming to your party at? And I gave them the time and the place and the date again. And every one of them texted me back, and one of them texted me back, and she canceled. But that's 1 out of 6. So I didn't think that was too bad. And she had a family emergency. And I honestly, I had so much to do. I said, and this is a good place to be. I said, listen, that's fine. I hope everything's okay. I'm going to be praying for your family. Just get back with me when when it's a good time for you. And she said, thank you. And I just put little praying hands, and she said, thank you so much. So, but the pre-profiling is so good because you can be so much more prepared. So thank you, Lorraine.
And one more thing on that, as far as keeping up with your hostess like that, when I learned how to schedule a text for a future date on my phone, it was like just so eye-opening. So if you don't know how to do that, Google it and figure it out, because that's another way that you can just stay in touch with them. Like, you book it one day, go ahead and send that text message for the next day, say following up on their guest list, or and it just schedules it and doesn't send it until the time that you want it to. But that's just where you can just kind of stay in touch with them. Can't wait to see you, just reminding them about it as well.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Let technology work for you.
Exactly. And Marina asked, thank you, Marina, for what you said. Marina asked in the chat, she said, how often is too often? She said she had one hostess act like it was a little bit too much. I guess it's according, like, when I booked all of these last week, and honestly, I just was so busy, I almost didn't have time to follow up. And, like, so really, I really only text them, like, once before the party. But I told them when I booked it that I would, like, when I booked it for, like, this weekend, and it was a whole week away because I knew I had jump start, I couldn't start until Friday. I said, on Wednesday or Thursday of next week, I will be sending you a reminder. So I kind of told them when I was going to remind them, So you don't have to remind them every single day. You might give them a date that you're going to follow up. And with to piggyback what Laree said, you may give a date that you're going to follow up to get the guest list. So when you book her, let's say I book this Sunday and I'm booking her for Friday. I might say, is it okay if I call you on Thursday? I would say like Tuesday and get your guest list and their phone numbers, because I'm going to just go ahead and contact them all and get a couple of questions about their skin so I can be a little better prepared. So you might just tell them when you're going to do it. That way they don't feel like you're bugging them you don't have to tell them every single day. That'd get on my nerves too. Honestly, when the dentist reminds me 4 ways, I'm like, I done told you yes. You don't have to text me, email me, and call me. It's too much. You're killing me. But, they're in business. They mean you're going to be at that dentist appointment. They slay me. Okay. All right. Thank you, Laree. Thank you so much. Okay, Jana, let's get you next.
All right. Hey, I really enjoyed tonight, Cleta. You know what? Your actions are inspiring me. And so thank you for lighting us up and really showing us by example how this is done. So I loved everything that you said. It's so like what I do. And, one of the things that I think that I didn't know prior to doing parties and stuff, Mary Kay, is what it would look like. And so there is no perfection in the process and in the progress. When you're making progress in your business, it's not supposed to look a certain way. In fact, there's lots of times that you look back and you giggle and laugh and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that. Yeah, that totally happened to me at that party, and this is how this one went. And so I love that. When you stay in progress and you keep moving forward and you keep doing those appointments, then you can look back and, don't overanalyze things too much. Don't, one party or one facial that's not the determination of what's going to happen in your future. And so I'm very analytical. And so I would look back at things, but this is the one thing. I always had 10 appointments on my books when I was moving up and stuff. And that's something that I'm looking at, I'm like, oh my gosh, I've got to get 10 like in a week, because this is what I'm doing as a business. There's no excuse. And so when you have that many appointments on your books, you're relieved, and you don't have time to psychoanalyze everything that happened at every party. You do the work, you follow up, you make a list of who you need to follow up with, and you move on. And then at the end of the month, you have a double gold medal, and you're like, whoa, how'd that happen? That sure was fun. That was awesome. So there's no such thing as perfection. So what we're looking for is progress. And so, just keep striving for those goals. So great job, Cleta.
That's perfect. Because that is so true. Not perfection. It's just progress. And if you do enough, you will get progress, because let's say all I'm really after was the sales. I mean, even though they weren't big parties, 2 days, almost have $1,000. I mean, got $1,000, right? That's even though they weren't big parties, that's still $1,000. So quit crying, right?
Progress.
All right. Thank you, Jana.
Right, that's awesome.
Okay. Sayla, I got you unmuted.
Hey, Cleta, it was a great call. And what I would say is that I have been very guilty at different times in my career of sabotaging myself by not being prepared. And I might get several appointments on my books, and then my kit is not ready to go, and I'm just a hot mess. So thank you for the reminder of getting things in place. And I know when my kit is ready to go, the parties always fall into place. So thank you very much.
You're welcome. And that is so true. And especially if it's been just a little while since you've had a party, it makes it so much easier just to like tonight, if you guys got a little energy after the call, just get your kit out and say, you know what, I'm going to pretend I got a party tomorrow with 6 people, and get your kit ready to go. I mean, it's jam up. And then what will happen is you will book a party and you'll be like, oh, I'm ready. I can do it today. I can do it 30 minutes. Because honestly, I could do, if someone called me and said, hey, can you do it? I got 7 people. Could you come over and do a party real quick? I would go, yep. It's no big deal. I mean, actually, my kit's in the car. I just drive on over there. But you know what? You got to be that prepared. It really does relieve you of stress. because there's nothing worse than having to scramble. So, yes, Sayla, thank you. Thank you for just bringing that out again. Okay, let's see. Miss Rosemary.
Hey, Cleta. I'm sorry I got on late. We had a big launch party today. One of my consultants had 20 guests in attendance.
Woo!
2 of them were teenagers, but there were 18 adults, and so it was a really, really successful party. And if I had not done the planning, like I had list upon list, and even last night was packing things up, and I left a few things for today, but if I hadn't done that, I can't imagine, how it would have turned out, especially when you have such a big crowd like that. But it went pretty well. And she had a little over $800 now in sales with some more orders coming in. And it was just a really good launch party for her. But what I liked is today, especially, is that you gave such practical advice. And I don't think it hurts any of us to hear that advice again. Just, things that seem so simple, but what do you take to a party? Do you take, somebody asked me one time, do you take all your inventory? Well, no, not usually. You usually take what you're going to demo. How much should you take? Those seem like really easy things, but when you're new, and sometimes when you're not new, it really helps to have that information. And then I kind of laughed because some of the comments about things not always happening the way you intend them to happen. One of my most memorable parties, somebody let their dog in during the party, and this dog was huge, and the dog went under the card table, one of the card tables, and then stood up, and everything on the table like bounced and everything, and it was, I just wanted to sink into a hole. And now it's really funny, but then it wasn't so funny. And then there was also the time that I encouraged everyone, if they were going to partake in any alcoholic beverages, they did it after the party. Well, to my unknown to me, some of that had taken place before the party. And so they had come with their children and had a little drinking had gone on. And it was the wildest party I ever had, but it sure was fun. But, you just never know what's going to happen. So you just have to be ready to be flexible and kind of to go with the flow. Even though there was times I just kind of sat back and went, I just didn't even know what to say anymore, but it all turned out okay.
Yeah. That's so good. I know one of my parties this weekend, they were bringing in rabbits and bunnies, and they wanted me to hold it. And I'm like, y'all know how I'm just now getting to where I like cats, right? I mean, like, I don't even really like cats still. I'm trying to like my cats. And then they're like, you want to hold the bunny? Is it? And I'm like, no, it's fine. And they're like, and then one of them goes, she doesn't seem very interested. I said, I'm allergic to cats. I probably couldn't be allergic to bunnies. And they're like, no, you're not. Or they said, I'm allergic to cats, but I'm not allergic. And then they bring the big mama bunny in there, and they're all fluffing on the bunny. And then I hear something. I'm like, is that goats out there? And I said, there's a rooster crowing out there. They go, yeah, we got chickens and goats and roosters and bunnies and guinea pigs. And I don't even know what else they had out there. And I'm like, wow. And so anyway, and then the other one, they had little dogs running around. So yeah, you're going to have dogs, kids, and animals. You just are. And you're going to have husbands running back and forth thinking, when are you going to leave? Like sometime. And you're going to have things. And like, then all the kids came home from school. And so I'm like, I got to get out of here, And so, but it's crazy. It's just real life, you guys. So don't think that just because you want a pink Cadillac or you're a sales director, that you go in as Miss Pollyanna and have the perfect little party, because it just does not happen that way. So just shake it off, right? Okay, let me see if Stephanie, or I don't see her on here. Okay, I just want to make sure that I'm not missing anybody. Okay, so if any of the consultants, if you guys have anything to say, otherwise I'm just going to end with a little announcement and then we'll be good to go. Thank you for the new people that are on here. I see a lot of my new consultants on here and that are brand new this week. So I hope y'all learned something. If you didn't, go back and listen to it, because honestly, these tips are that every director would tell you, and I think you would really get a lot out of it. So let me just tell you to end that the new products are available today for people that did that were in the preferred customer program or star consultants. Now, I've had some of my stars that did not do the preferred customer program, and they are not able to do it yet. So I think there's a little glitch, and a lot of the top directors have seen that. So we'll all be flooding Mary Kay in the morning with some calls, and I'm sure they will get that fixed. But the new lookbooks are available. You know, it was a little delay on the lookbooks. You wouldn't know, but the directors knew. Well, yeah, those of you that did the early order. So these are available, and they're beautiful. I think they're really nice. So you want to make sure you grab some lookbooks out of there. The new products are really cool. The biggest thing you're going to sell the lip tint for is that once you put that lip tint on and it dries, then you can you can kiss the back of your hand. It does not come off. It is like one of those kind of lipsticks. And so people are just kind of going crazy about that. It's real popular in the beauty industry right now. And then the illuminating drops are really popular right now for that shimmer. And you can put it in your body lotion and put it like up here, and you get that shimmer. You can put some in your CC cream and put it all over. You can just put a little bit for highlighter. So whatever you want to do. I'm thinking about putting my CC cream tomorrow and see how much I can glow at the meetings. So if I look weird, you'll know why. But, and then of course the new compacts are beautiful. The new compacts, every single person needs one of those compacts. They're the most beautiful compacts that Mary Kay has ever made. So, and then the tried and true, the after sun gel, and then the subtle tanning lotion is out. So that's kind of the new stuff. It's not a lot of new things. So what you can kind of do is focus on some of the other things that Mary Kay people haven't tried, like the vitamin C squares. You know, a lot of people, it kind of came out, then, you know, we hadn't talked about that in a while. So you may like push something like the vitamin C square, since it's in the lookbook, and the Serum Plus C. You know, you may really talk about that as if it's new, because it is new to people that have not purchased it. In fact, when I was looking at these before and afters of this vitamin C squares, I'm like, why don't I use that 3 times a week? It's in my bathroom. I'm going to do it tonight. I'll be younger by next week. So that's what we got for you this week. So you can get your orders in, win your bracelet for this month for the You Hold the Key, and work on that cruise. And, you know, I mean, honestly, I cannot wait to see who on our Boss Babes is going to win the cruise first. The challenge is up. Everybody's raising their hand. Okay. We got to go for it, right? So don't take till June. Let's get it over. Not get it over with. Let's get it going. I mean, we might as well, right? So you guys have a great, great week. Thank y'all for calling in. Lots of people today. We had over 28 people call in. And I have to tell y'all something. Y'all know I post this on YouTube because it's just the easiest way for me to transfer it to get it to everybody. Every single week, we have about 280 people watch this. Is that not crazy? So you guys are all famous, my Boss Babe girls. And I've had some directors tell me that they actually show this video at their unit meetings every week. So you guys, we're going all over the Mary Kay Nation. So anyway, just want to share that with you. So if you're just watching the recording, thank you. We love you. And we hope you have a great week too. So thanks you guys so much. I'm going to stop the recording now.